Hey, RVA, this is the Tam. You know another guy named Mike? Make sure you check out my main man, Mike King Biz. Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Sports 106.1. On the mic, with Mike, is the champion of business talk radio. You're starting to irritate me.
Hi, well, you know who I am. Make sure you check out my man, Mike King Biz. His program, On the Mic with Mike Gorvier, is the best business-ish radio program in RVA. Mike King Biz Radio can be heard on ESPN Richmond 106.1 and The Choice 105.3. Me and Minnie listen every day, and you should too.
On the mic with Mike King here. We got Karen Cole who's with us from Ashura. Welcome back to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so we touched on a number of things. TikTok is the rage. One of the great parts about having your own radio show is every question that you had, you go get an expert. Ma'am, you are that expert.
All right.
What was the hubbub from a security standpoint about TikTok?
Okay. So and I'm going to use TikTok as an example, but this is across the board. The first thing you need to understand is if you're not paying for the product on social media, on social media, you are the product. Ooh. And so I'll say that again. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product, and especially when it comes to social media. So the reason that there was so much hubbub about TikTok, but the same thing can be said for Dropbox and all of those, is because you have foreign actors like the Chinese. And what they're doing is they're using those platforms in order to data mine information on US citizens that they can then use to target. And so our foreign actors are very patient. So think about it. You have a person who allows their child to create a TikTok account at age 5, right? Yes. They're uploading their videos, their information, all of those things. And so what happens is that you can then start to build a profile on that individual. And by the time that they become an adult, by the time that they get to a position of power or where they are an influence, now you have a whole dossier on this person. You have their whole life history.
Just from a TikTok, an account that was started years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you had already said when we talked about security from the ransomware, that's not something that happens overnight. A lot of times they have been there for a while, just waiting for the right time.
Yeah, it used to be in some of the more recent studies over the last couple of years, on average, about 18 months.
Okay, so what can a person who's at home now, and now more people are doing things at home computers, to save themselves or protect themselves against bad things happening?
Okay, so we'll talk about it from a consumer perspective, and then we'll talk about it from a business perspective. Okay. From a consumer perspective, really that what we call that endpoint protection with artificial intelligence is extremely important. And there are things such as products like Sentinel-1 or Huntress or things like that we're looking at out there that have that AI component that consumers can load on their computers that are beyond just your antivirus, right?
That most of the people know. Hey, please explain to the folks who are out there AI. Artificial intelligence. I'm sharp. I know that part.
So what and there's so many practical applications for this, but the biggest thing with AI is to think about it as machine learning, right? And that there are ways that AI is capturing information to see about behavior, to be able to predict behavior, to see things that are outside of the norm.
All righty, Karen Cole is here with us. She is with the Ashura, award-winning technology company that is out there. Let's talk about the path for you're out there talking and a young girl sees you and she's blown away. Like, wow, you do that thing. What can a parent do? Or let's talk about STEM. We have a lot of programs that are out there. The importance of opportunities for girls in that area?
Okay, so there's a couple of different things. One thing that I do like to mention is that, and this is going to sound crazy, Mike, so I'm just going to warn you.
Okay. Well,
All right. So traditionally, people that do well in cybersecurity are not computer science majors.
really?
Really? Because what happens is that the greatest cybersecurity folks are people that come to it from other analytical focuses, biology, legal studies, those where you're taking information and you're synthesizing it. You're not necessarily, looking at X plus Y equals Z, right? Because essentially you're looking at human behavior. So psychology majors are very good in our industry, social sciences majors. So the first thing when you talk about, hey, if there's somebody, a girl out there that is looking, is to understand that there are many paths to being a cybersecurity practitioner. I was a pre-law major and got into technology. So from that perspective, it's never too late to get into cyber. The other is that recognizing that with that, STEM is extremely important. There are lots of things in the Richmond area. There is Max Potential, where they work on internships and people that are trying to change careers. And what will happen is that you will go through a internship process. They teach you. You can go directly into cyber. You can earn money with organizations while you are learning how to be a cybersecurity practitioner. We take on interns on a regular basis, and these are paid internships. There are a multitude of things. All of our practice leads in our company are teaching at the college level. We're speaking, we're putting that information out there because we did not get where we are alone. It is incumbent upon us in our industry to give back. So I am happy for anybody to reach out to us. We mentor on a regular basis to sit down. We will take the time to meet with somebody who is interested in getting into cybersecurity.
One of my Karen is here with us from Assured. They're doing some really big things out there, and it's called Max Potential.
Max, MAXX Potential. And and after this, I'll give you the information to post the links.
Okay.
And also within the school systems, they are starting to take a look at cybersecurity as a focus within some of their high school programs.
Let me ask you this. A lot of people have dreams. How did you take the dream of what you had and make it come true?
Well, it depends on who you ask, Mike. If you ask my mother, she will say that I am stubborn. And that always
helps.
I'll tell you that when I started out, I knew that nobody was ever going to hand it to me. And so I believe that our country is the greatest country in the world, where if you can dream it, you can be it. And so when you ask me about that, I am lucky enough that when I started down that path, that I know great people that have helped me to get there, because nobody, Mike, does it on their own.
For sure.
But you got to put in the work. And that's the other thing for business owners that's really hard, especially I see a lot of folks that are getting into opening their own business, especially because of COVID. And then a year or so later, they fold up because of two things. One is they think, oh, well, I'm going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. Well, majority of the time, it takes years and years and having that staying power. The second piece is that that you need to have the support system in place. And I've been lucky enough to, either through the Virginia Council of CEOs or through degree programs. A big one is that Dartmouth. I went through several of their business programs, and if there are women or minority businesses, Dartmouth has a program where you can go for free and you can learn about how to take your business to the next level.
Okay, that's great. That is great information right there. So, okay, please, I got to, if you could share that. We always are out there looking to help business
Absolutely.
owners. Okay, so are you an entrepreneur or did you go into that one business? Because I always ask people who are serial entrepreneurs. Now, those folks are out there. And I always ask the one question. They always laugh when I ask. I said, is it possible for a serial entrepreneur to ever be monogamous? Can you just stop with the wandering eye, with the crazy thought on a Thursday? I think I'll start this business. Is that you, or is it that was the business? I stayed here and I'm staying true to this and I'm going down that road.
I've had a love of Assura and cybersecurity. So I am a monogamous, as you would call it. I love that term, a monogamous business owner. I don't have a need to start many companies, right? It's interesting. Our mission and vision, our vision for Assura is the democratization of cybersecurity, and that we believe that security is a right and not a privilege.
I'd never heard that before until there's a lady named Anisha Rao. And she at Sound and Tour, what's her name, over at the labs, and she had told me, I got to connect you with her, that she had told me that same thing. It's not, it's not this or that's not that. It's a numbers game, and it is a democratization of that's what tech is. It levels out the playing field if everyone sort of gets the right opportunity.
Right. And that's what our whole business is focused on, small and medium-sized organizations, because they don't have the big bucks to go and pay for a team of cybersecurity experts, but they deserve a team of cybersecurity experts that are going to give them fantastic world-class service that meets their budget. Like, we have 31 Virginia localities that are clients. We have small businesses, we have schools, we secure elections. We are maintaining or helping to protect and maintain democracy in this country. And that is important to me. So when you ask about an entrepreneur, this is a life passion for me.
There you go. So it is. So Anisha Rao, shout out to her at Lantera Labs. What they do is they help nonprofits as well as people in the community get started in the tech field and open up opportunities. A friend of the program, she's out there doing some really cool things. One last, okay, well, you're here now. I always ask people, what gives you hope?
I will tell you right now, what gives me hope are young people. I think I was mentioning to you on the break is that I'm the mother of 18-year-old twins, and a boy and a girl. Hello, Ben and Ashley.
There you go. Mom gave you a shout out. So you know what? You got to let Ben and Ashley know how cool mom is. Mom is here at ESPN giving you guys a shout out, and we're definitely going to make this a clip so they know. So because, sometimes kids think that, we've lost our cool factor, that we were always moms and dads. They didn't realize we had a life before this.
Bless you.
Exactly. And that's as soon as you guys leave,
Yeah.
Mom can get on with life again.
Yeah, but I see in them and even the young people that come into our company and internships and things like that, just the fire, and it invigorates me. And as much, and I'll tell you, in cybersecurity, you see the worst of the worst, but I also see a lot of great things too. And when you see that there are so many young people out there that really want to do amazing things, they just need somebody to help them. That's what invigorates me. That's what gets me up every day, is that ability to, through them, the future does look brighter. I know that everybody says that, but as I've gotten older, I really see that. I really appreciate it.
Can you touch on really quickly as we close out the Richmond business tech community? Shout out to Scott McRoberts and the good folks over at the Virginia Council of CEOs. There, I met Sam Stone. He was on a panel that we did, and shout out to Scott for making the connection. We did a panel on employee engagement as well as culture, and Sam spoke there as one of the panelists. Can you talk about the Richmond business community and and what you see, because some areas are, especially others, some bigger cities are experiencing brain drains. And Richmond's not one of those. Richmond is attracting talent left and right.
Well, I think the first thing to understand is what I'll tell you. When I met my husband 20 years ago, he was from California, and then he came to Northern Virginia and was living. And we went out on a date, and I said, listen, Richmond will grow on you like a fungus. 20 years, you'll blink and you'll still be here. 20 years, he's still here.
And he's still here.
So that's the first thing. Richmond is a great place to live. I think the second thing, when you talk about the technology, and just the business market here, is there are a lot of business friendly practices that make this an attractive place to be. And now here's the cool thing, Mike, is that you can start your business in Richmond, but because of this decentralized labor market, because we have so many people working from home, in order to get the talent, you can now hire people in different states while you are fostering this business environment in Richmond, Virginia. We have employees in 5 states now.
Okay, man, we got to ask you. And so we had on the CEO of Elephant Insurance, and I asked him, what was the one thing that the pandemic did that he was totally shocked about? He said remote working. He said, I never would have thought it worked in a million years. And he said 2 weeks into it, we're realizing, okay, this is a thing that worked. When I used to work at AccuWeather, we used to have a West Coast territory. From State College, Pennsylvania, they never really trusted a person to live out there and work. So a person would leave on, say, Monday, fly to California, work a couple days, and come back, all because they didn't understand that that was going to be a way of life. How do you foster good culture when you hired a person, you never met them, they didn't meet the team and form around here and say, hey, this is Bill, welcome to the new guy? How do you create a good culture with that?
I will tell you, the first thing is that you manage by results, right? So in management, managing by deliverables, at the end of the day, do you really care if it takes somebody 2 hours to do something or 5 hours to do something, as long as it's quality work and it gets done? I don't care from a CEO perspective if people need to go out and play with their dog and think through things, as long as they're coming back and getting their job done. So that's the first thing. The second thing, when the pandemic hit, one of our core values, we jokingly, and you'll see it on our website, is eat our own dog food. And that means that we need to practice what we preach. So Mike, when the pandemic hit, we didn't miss a beat, because we already had our plans in place. And so people just went and they worked from home. Our office has been empty pretty much for 1.5 years. And so yes, from that perspective, that was a game changer. But I would say managing by deliverables. The other thing, Mike, that we do is, because you hit on it, it's culture. People still need a connection to their coworkers. And so we spend a lot of time making sure that we're doing things such as online team events. Like, here's a funny thing. I have a great client success manager, Brian Carnahan, and every Friday in our team meetings, he will come up with a game, or he will come up with a discussion topic, and we're all online. This one was, tell us your favorite movie and sell it to us like you're a movie critic. That was last Friday, right? And you get to know your coworkers. It's like the same thing as if you had saw them around the water cooler. And that's what helps us to be connected. And then, when we did get our Inc. 5000 award, okay, once a year we were flying people in so they can actually be around each other. But now it's not, like you said, every week you got to fly back and forth from the West Coast. It's being intentional about it and putting some thought behind it.
On the mic with Mike, Karen Cole is here with us. It has been a pleasure, ma'am. As I always say, as we were coming in, if you think that social media doesn't work, I always tell people I'm talking to you, right? It does. So folks who are out there, if you're not getting as many likes, engagements as whatever, my granddaughter always says, if you put me in every video, you get more likes and comments. I tell her, forget the likes and comments. I'm getting checks. And so the next word between her and my wife was, we'll go buy something for her. So maybe
I like her.
I know, maybe I shouldn't have used that line. I won't use that anymore. But ma'am, thank you. And congratulations on all your success. You're part of the family now. If you guys ever have anything that that is out there that you want information wise, let us know. We always have time for you. If you have a nonprofit that you guys want to support, that's what we do here.
Absolutely.
All right, one last time, folks, and tell these business owners, stop living dangerous. The people out there with their fingers crossed, praying, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Well, back in the day, we used to laugh because they said there was a computer in the office, and the joke was like, whatever you do, don't unplug that one.
Yep.
Well, how do you know? Well, the guy who was here before me told me that same thing. So as they always say, parting shots, some of the things that business owners can do to protect themselves right now, two things, what would they be?
First thing is get an assessment by a qualified cybersecurity professional. If it isn't a core business function of theirs, and if they're not certified in it, that should be a red flag. The second thing is making sure that you have the conversation about how do you want to empower your people to protect themselves. And that includes training, and that includes endpoint protection.
And you'd said that IT security is not something that it's not done here, there. It is part of corporate policy.
Yeah.
So we engage our workers with what to look for from a security standpoint, what not to click on.
Yep.
Don't be willy-nilly with the clicking on things.
Yep. They're called the human firewall for a reason, because they're your first level of protection.
And okay, so we'd also touched on the opportunities for a person getting into the technology world.
Mm-hmm.
And you had said there's certain programs that are out there. And the one you had said, always make sure that it is it NSA?
Yes, through the excuse me, National Security Agency. So yes, NSA certified. You want to look for a cybersecurity program that has a industry accreditation in cybersecurity. The most widely recognized one is through NSA. And there are numerous universities, hey, Mike, and now so many of them are online. So it's not like you have to go there in order to get that.
All righty, on the mic with Mike, we bring you the best and the brightest. We are here as part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m., as well as the Choice 105.3. We're there 2 to 3 every day. Well, I'm there on Fridays from 2 to 2:30. Bringing you all the best that Richmond has to offer. We bring you the game changers, people who are making a difference, who are out here. So that's what we do here on the mic with Mike. Mike King Biz is how you can find me, hashtag Mike King Biz, as well as on the mic with Mike RVA hashtag, as well as the website, which is MikeKing.biz. So with that being said, on the mic with Mike, we will talk to you later. Thanks. Now take care. Bye.
Hi, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy.